Tom Brady throws for 517 yards, something that hasn't been done for 20 years and only twice in 40 years. What do you guys think about that?
That was amazing. He put on a clinic.
I mean, Tom Brady.
Tom Terrific?
Tom Terrific.
That's what they call him. That's what they
call
call me.
Definitely. I mean, wow, what a spectacular. After, how do you come into the season after being voted by your peers as the best player in the game? And then you come out with that kind of a game. True enough, Miami had high hopes, but you get nothing done against him. I mean, it was a beautiful thing to watch.
It was deplorable.
Well, I don't know what that means.
I don't think that's the right word for that.
They were the worst ever.
Well, they're playing New England. So you have to say they're deplorable, but they played New England.
I get that, but I mean, 500, like she said, nobody's done 500 yards on nobody in 20 years. 2 times in 40. Twice. No, you the third.
So what does that set up for the rest of the season?
Man, you better figure something out. That's all I can say. Your boy got cut.
Oh yeah, Sapp earlier, if you remember in preseason, he goes out and says that, put us up against anybody. We're the best cornerbacks in the game.
The best at the house.
Right.
That's what it's gonna be.
I'm the best corner not signed to a team right now.
I'm on the couch, but I'm the best, dog. Man, all I can say, man, really, any team that, if you got a fantasy, we're gonna talk about fantasy later. Anybody who's on, who's playing Miami Dolphins, you can throw all day on them, Doug. It's open.
I think only if you're New England. I don't think everybody's going to get a chance to do that.
Man.
We didn't get a chance to really see Cameron Wake to do his thing. They held him pretty much in contain. But I don't think too many teams are going to be able to hold Mr. Wake asleep.
Really?
Really.
Okay, we're going to go with that. So,
Well, speaking of hyping and everything, on a side note, Ocho Cinco doesn't live up to the hype. He only sees the field for 5 plays, but he tweets, "It is amazing to be able to watch this machine in action." Watch being the operative term.
The machine.
I mean, what do you think about his tweets and his inability to get on the field and let his work do the talking,
Well, yeah, he's talking from the sidelines. That's all I can say. And
he's not in Cincinnati. That's the only thing. It's a very complex situation in New England that he's up against. They put you in the best position to win.
Right.
But he always thought that he was the best situation.
They got a team of nobodies or people kind of somewhat cast off. They're not really all players that you want to have on your team.
Yeah.
Well, or we would say stars on the team.
Right.
Now they got a half of one with Ocho Cinco.
Right.
He might as well change his name back because he's just a regular Joe right about now.
Speaking of change, there's a lot of change going on, as we like to call it around here, where you see teams or players are supposed to shine, either get beaten thoroughly or players that are not showing up on the field. Case in point, we've got the New York Giants, the Atlanta Falcons, the Kansas City Chiefs, or dare I say Tony Romo.
Tony is the guy as captain. I can't finish the game.
Tony, I'm sorry, Romo. Every press conference, we could have won the game if I hadn't blew it again.
That's his calling card, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched a coach the other day break it down. It's like you have to take the ball out of Tony Romo's hands if you want to win the game.
Look, it ain't where you start.
It's how you finish.
Yeah.
He can't finish. Period. Hand the ball off to somebody who can hang on to it and has a better chance of making a play.
He played a good game.
He did.
He played a good game.
Yeah.
For what it's worth. But you lost.
But I was going to say, it's wins and losses that get you to the Super Bowl or to the playoffs. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Let's talk about some other guys. What about Fitzpatrick?
Wow.
Ooh, I mean, he goes off and throws 4 darts. That's the best thing I can say about that.
I mean, he must be hanging out with Robin Hood and the Merry Men shooting the archery because, bullseye.
Yeah.
25 passes, 4 touchdowns. What kind of an average is that?
That's an amazing stat, honestly.
Yeah. That's
especially in Buffalo. Buffalo hadn't seen stuff like that since Kelly.
Wow. So every 6 passes was a touchdown.
That's woo. And how many of those went to Johnson is the question. I mean, Johnson has really awakened after 3 years of
Don't
being on the
tweet.
bench.
Don't tweet.
Yeah, he won't.
Leave
Yeah, he
the
won't do
tweet
that anymore.
alone.
Leave that to Chad Ocho, whomever.
All right, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh,
Let's. Shall we? Do you want
Hate
the
to
floor or
say.
shall I? Big Ben, you destroyed me. Had a chance, you absolutely destroyed me. Defense, I don't know what happened.
Linebackers.
I think that you were just victimized by a team that's been watching you long enough that has your number.
I don't know about having our number, but
Oh.
but all I can say is we play them twice a year. We know them, they know us. We're getting a little bit older, a little longer in the tooth. There's a little fuel to the fire.
Right.
We talked a little bit about them and their so-called wacko for Flacco dude, and he actually stepped up. Our linebackers, our offensive line, wide receivers, our running backs did okay. I mean, even Ben did okay,
No, he
but I mean, so he didn't have a whole lot of time. He didn't have any time. He didn't do anything. You're right. You're right.
They got your number, man. Look, just admit it.
Time to change.
Yeah. Look. You know the commercial?
Mm-hmm.
What else does it do for you? Are you making fun of me? No.
Oh my goodness.
Are you in denial?
You know what?
All right.
How about that?
Well, maybe it's time to change gears a little bit here. So when we come back, guys, we'll talk about fantasy football. I know y'all want to hear about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Let's talk about it.